Hey, today for the Surfboard Guide, I'm going to be having a look at the Cymatic by Slater Designs. The Cymatic I've been riding is the stock 5.6, which is 5.6, 19 3/8, 2.5 thick and comes in at 29.7 litres. So I've been able to surf the Cymatic in kind of from 1 to 2 foot junky beach break stuff through to 5 to 6 foot kind of pumping waves, lefts and rights, tubes, walls, everything you want to throw at it. And I must say, it's been a real surprise package and has really performed. If you have a look at the Cymatic, so I've been riding the 5.6 here. So it's quite short. I'm 5'10", almost 5'11" tall. So it's quite a short little package, but it's 29.7 litres is just nicely put in this board. And it makes paddling and catching waves an absolute breeze. When you flip the board over, I don't want to go into too much tech detail here at the chance of getting it wrong, but if you go on the Slater Designs Firewire website, all the detail about bottom curves and all that sort of stuff is here. But the board is shaped and designed by Tomo, and he has this, I've never surfed anything like this, and he has these channels and how the water flows through the board just down to a perfect art. I don't think I've ever ridden anything that moves across water like this does. It just, the only way I could kind of put it is that it's very efficient. I felt that when I ride quite low volume boards for my weight, generally, and I do a lot of moving, I pump and to get boards going. With this, there was a lot less of that going on. It just seems to kind of pull water and it moves from front to back. I know it sounds really simple, but it just moves forward really quickly and really easily. And it was something I hadn't kind of ridden before. The design is quite unique. You can see all these channels coming through, and it comes through to what I think they call a bat tail, which has got some kind of kinks and curves, which I'm not too sure about, but it all just seems to work. Surf was this, I was up in northern New South Wales, able to surf it on some little right-hand point breaks. And in my first surf, I rode it on kind of 4 to 5 foot, right kind of point break, kind of closing out a bit straight. And I rode it as a thruster, and it felt all right. It didn't feel too dissimilar to like a shortboard. I wasn't really sure about the real stumpy appearance of the board, what it would kind of feel like with the rail line and whatnot, but it didn't feel too, dissimilar to anything I'd ridden before, so it felt okay. And then I had a second surf that day, and I tried it as a quad setup, and that felt really, really good. Very, very quick. Probably one of the fastest boards I reckon I've ever ridden. And once I kind of sorted that out, the fins I had in were a little bit big for the surf, but once I sorted it out, it would turn really well, and it felt very, very natural. Since then, I kind of brought it home and I've surfed it in the conditions we've had from kind of junky 1 to 2 foot kind of average stuff you'll see through the footage we have, through to some pretty fun kind of, almost pumping waves with a bit of push behind them. And the board performs in all of those conditions. So the Cymatic is Slater Designs, which comes under the Firewire label and is shaped by Daniel Thompson. And the Cymatic that I have is in their LFT technology, and you can find out more about that on their website. So surfing the Cymatic, I've actually had a chance to try out a few different fin setups, which has given the board a very unique feel and has kind of worked for every different kind of condition. But one that I really sat on, I've always found it really hard to find complete quad sets that I've really, really liked. So I did a mixing around and whatnot, and what I came to in the end was what I really kind of liked in kind of the 2 to 4 foot range. This is the AM1 Control Series by Futures Fins. It's quite a stiff glass fin. It thins out through the tips, there's a bit of flex, but generally it's quite stiff, and I've had them as the leading fins. And then the rear, I'm a real fan of these in quad setups, and these are the Hayden rear quads. And it just felt like a really nice kind of complete package. You'll see in some footage, when it turns, it has a bit of slide, a bit of drift through it, but it also has control and hold. So you drift and slide, but you don't lose everything. But it's really nice and loose and lively, and it works really well with everything that is going on through the bottom here. I also had, when the surf got a little bit bigger, I actually rode Firewire. I have a 5 fin set they do with Futures, which is a large template, and that was the first one I tried. So in the thruster, it felt okay, but the quad setup, when I surfed this in waves 5 foot and above, so kind of overhead to double overhead, that quad setup is a large quad setup, and it gave the board a feeling like it was a much larger board. So a 5.6 in 6 foot plus waves, it didn't feel out of place, and it felt really, really nice. It actually been an opportunity to try a bunch of different fins in the one board, and not just trying to find that fin that worked for the board, but every setup gave this board a whole new and really unique feel. Overall, the Cymatic has been a great board to check out. It's really dissimilar to anything I'd ridden before, and I recommend it from anyone from a beginner through to an advanced surfer. For a beginner, it has a really good distribution of foam that makes paddling and surfing really, really easy, and its overall short in length makes it very, very maneuverable. For someone who's an intermediate to an advanced surfer, the board moves through water so efficiently, it's faster than anything I've ridden before, and the turns and the stuff that you're capable on a board like this, if it's something dissimilar to what you've ridden before, makes surfing really unique and a lot of fun. So hopefully you enjoyed the review today and you get a chance to check one out. Thanks so much for watching.
Hey, thanks so much for watching today. If you like what you saw, it'd be greatly appreciated if you could hit like. If you want to see more of what we're doing, it'd be greatly appreciated if you could subscribe. Beyond what we're doing here on YouTube, we also have an Instagram account which we're keeping pretty active with. You'll find it on Instagram at the Surfboard Guide, and on there we'll be posting stuff about boards we have, immediate stuff about our experiences with them. You'll also have a chance to maybe connect with other people that have an experience with board that you may be interested in. Thanks so much for watching.